Yo, what's up, y'all? What's cracking? What up? What up? What up? What up? So, Shaq's attack. Let's take a look at this black on black. Let's take a look at this, man. So they had a discussion,
I just
man.
think in this situation, it's more about human nature. I know exactly how Jimmy feels. I've been in situations many times. All that I've done for you, and you don't want to give me what I want. So human nature kicks
Well, I
in.
gave you what you want because you signed a deal that goes on to next year.
But hold on.
And as y'all know, the situation just went on and on and more and more and more, right? I really don't got to keep playing this video, right? Because this video, it has a lot in it, right? And we know that they got to talking about pretty much why, Shaq was explaining why that Jimmy Butler got to play. He don't have to play. The Jet was like, well, Kenny the Jet was like, well, he got $50 million. Shaq like, so what? You don't want me, I don't play. You know what I'm saying? And what if we get hurt? See, and this, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. First of all, taking care of your body is something that we all don't do well of, right? We all could be a lot healthier. These athletes, top-notch condition. They don't get the guilty pleasures foods that we like to cheat and eat on. They can't eat none of that. They have to take care of their bodies at a level that we possibly could never understand unless you actually go and work out. Even if you do go work out, you're still like, how do they do that week in, week out? They got to be in tremendous shape. When do they have time for family? If they have time for family, right? Or loved ones or whatever. When do they have the time to do this? Well, I get some of this, but I'm gonna explain to y'all what I don't agree with, right? So I don't agree with sitting out, right? Because you're getting paid a lot of money. And a lot of that money come from season ticket holders that want to see Jimmy Butler, right? Because now you're making it a selfish thing, and this is becoming a problem with athletes all and particularly, just let me just call it what it is, like basketball and football. Like, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me. I don't know if we have any same problems in other sports. You know what I mean? Because maybe I don't pay attention to it that enough, but it don't arise to this point where it's like that. First of all, pro sports in general are becoming something totally different that or not even that is not even having the same allure that it had, right? Unless it's your favorite team or something else, like you really don't give that much into sports, and it's getting worse every year. It's getting worse and worse every year because they're getting paid more and more money. These corporate sponsors are like kind of pushing fans away from the game and trying to make it more corporate and more social media driven. It's crazy, right? But Jimmy Butler's paid $50 million to go out and do a job. He should absolutely be on the court doing that job for $50 million, whether you want to be there or not. You sign that contract knowing that you can be hurt at any given time. And see, I heard Shaq in this argument. I seen it later on. I just wanted to, give a little teaser of it, but y'all could catch the video. It's everywhere right now on the net, right? But I know certain people was like, well, what you got to say about this trucking? And that's what I got to do, right? So I think in this situation that there's no way you're getting paid that amount of money and not showing up to work. Period, point blank. There's so many other people out here. We may not go through the rigor of training our bodies and not eating the things we want, but we go through the rigor of everyday life. And that, whether that be You got 4 classes of college that you have to attend, 4 classes that you got to study for. And what time do you have to sleep to let your brain, to just calm your brain, to just calm your mind? What time do you have for that? Because not only do you have to do that, but your little stipend for financial aid don't kick in but once a month. So the other couple of weeks, what do you do? Do you go work on a campus store? Whether you having a job at the campus store, some people are more fortunate that parents has set up some kind of fund for them, so they have that money. But if you don't, and you're in college and you got 4 classes that you got to study for, 4 classes that you got to attend, you probably got a job outside of campus, or you waking up every day. You're a wife, and you got to get up. You make your husband his dinner, his breakfast. You make your kids their breakfast. You got to get the kids' clothes ready. If they're little, you got to drop the kids off at school. Then you got to go to work yourself. Then you got to pick up the kids from school. Then you got to come home. Then you got to cook dinner. Then you got to, you know what I'm saying, cook your husband his plate. Then you got to wash. You got to do the laundry. Hopefully the husband helped out with the laundry, or vice versa. You a man, you the husband, and you got to get the kids ready for school. And you got to do everything I just said. And plus, you got to go into work, into a job where there's people that just do stupid stuff every day, and you working your butt off and you meeting your quotas, but you're not getting a raise, but you want a raise so bad, but they saying that they can't give you a raise, right? But you doing this job every day for X amount of dollars an hour, and you want that raise so bad. But then here is a person who you take some of those wages from. You cut your wages because you went and bought tickets to this game. And this person that you wanted to go see play in the game, that you got all this time, I had to go find a babysitter, and including everything else, wants to sit out a game, and they're getting paid $50 million. I wish we can get paid at the beginning of the year for every job. Just give us our yearly salary up front. And we just say we don't want to go to work. We don't want to go to work. See, and see, that's the problem. See, the problem is, we forgetting the values of things have gotten twisted. There is millions of dollars being poured into sports. And I love sports, but there's millions of dollars being poured into sports, millions of it. And that's where a lot of the money goes, instead of putting the money back into the economies, into us, the working class people, the middle class people who keep this, who really work very hard. Because let's not get it twisted. There's levels to life. The wealthy people, thank you for the undying, the wealthy. You work very hard to be wealthy, very hard. Let's not get it twisted. You work very hard to be wealthy, without a doubt. If you own businesses, if you became wealthy because you owning businesses, you never sleep because you got to work twice as hard. You got to do everything I said, including run a business, run employees, and everything else. So if you running a business, that's extremely hard work that you had to put in to be wealthy, right? And then you got the middle class people who went to college to work for the wealthy at their businesses, but they put in so much time and effort in college, or it's so many years in that field, that they just know it by the back of their hand. So they work their ass off regardless. And now they want the raise from the wealthy. But then you got the people, but then you got a whole nother class of people who don't. Some people just don't want to get up, and they don't want to do anything, and they and or whatever, right? But then you got people that you work out. I get it. You work out, you work hard. But some of this stuff is wealthy people that own businesses. They also work out, take care of their body. There's people who's middle class that work every day, and they still find time in that hour to go work out and take care of their body. You work out, you play a game that we love to play our whole life. We grew up playing in parks, and you're getting paid millions of dollars to do that. But now you don't want to do that, and you want to throw a fit. And people that's paying these tickets or a lot of these middle class people that come in and pay these prices. It's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is why I think it's ridiculous and it shouldn't be done. Then you got load management going on. And this brings up so many other topics that I guess I could sit around and I could whine about. But this is bigger than just whining. That you know what I mean. This is like something that sometimes these things need to be addressed, and not all the time these things are addressed because people don't want to hear it, because you're whining about a topic, because something else might be going on. But it's real talk. It's real talk. It's conversation nonetheless. And sometimes people need to hear it, and whether you want to hear it or not, it is what it is. But you're getting that, and you should show up to work. Now, on the other hand, he's doing everything else that I said he's doing, taking care of his body, not getting a playing time, not getting whatever you want, so you don't want to play for your team, right? It's more than that. It's more than just your team, man. There's people out there that, like I said, these people that paid to come see Jimmy Buckets. They want to see Jimmy Buckets, not you. You know what I mean? So where does this go? When does this stop? Does it stop? I don't think so, man. I don't think that it ever does, man. I think it's an ongoing thing that is always going to be there and in the back of everybody. I think it's always going to be there, man. You're never going to get rid of that until the people who paved the way to play in the NBA, they didn't get paid a lot. They just, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the money has gone up. It has gone up, but it's all going in the wrong places if you ask me. And that's how I'm breaking down that topic, and that's how I want to come at that from a different angle. Because I think that sometimes some conversations need to be had, whether they're popular or not. Sometimes you just gotta you speak your mind and shed light to other things, man. When a time arises, because for in this particular situation with him getting paid so much, there's even athletes out there that would love to get what Jimmy Butler's getting paid, that are working very hard for him to get that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? That might take that situation a little bit differently. You know what I mean? Like, so what makes you special to do that? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Jimmy Butler, he was a very good player. He was a very good player. He's not that now. I mean, he's still a good player. He's still a good player. Jimmy Butler is still Jimmy Butler because he could get it done, but he's not. You're not leading the league. That team needs him, and they haven't showed up. They haven't put the pieces around her. Every time Jimmy seems to go somewhere, um, they seem to rely on him a lot, and I get that, and I look at that situation, and I'm looking at this like they do rely on him a lot. It's been done a couple places, like give him somebody else. I think he played. Didn't he play with the 76ers? I think he played with Joel Embiid. But he's another guy, load management type of deals. Like, it's just crazy to me that they make this, and there's so much stuff that we don't see with athletes too. The surgeries they have, you know what I mean? How many surgeries have they gone through? They bionic people. They gotta, you know what I mean, have computer chips in their knees and plates everywhere. They stick the magnets, you know what I'm saying? If there was a one that's strong enough to pull them, you know, like, there's so much that athletes go to too, and I get that. And I understand that, so there's things from both sides. So where is the median? Where's the compromise in this situation? What do you do in this situation, right? But communication is broke down somewhere. But because the way that I talked about it, I guess it was kind of selfish and from the fans' point of view, but that's where I bring things from too. Though a lot of the times, we want to see you guys play the game. We pay the money, the hard earned money that we make, and we want to see our favorite players play in a game, whether it's basketball or football or whatever it is that we're paying for that event. you know, we want to see our favorite players play, but then again, there may be some things going on behind the scene that we don't know about. How many surgeries have Jimmy Butler even had? These athletes go through surgeries, stem cell regenerations, and all kinds of things, to get their ligaments back. It's crazy the medicines that they pump through their body on to take care of it. Then they got to eat right, and it's so much stuff like that they go through on the back end too. That I think is covered, or at least should be covered. But NBA players, right? They get guaranteed contracts. They get fully guaranteed contracts to where they're getting all their money. NFL players don't get none of that. And I mean, you got to worry about concussions in basketball if you hit the floor hard enough, but it's rare. You know what I'm saying? But in football, like, at any given time, you could break your neck. And that's saying that you can't do it in basketball if you high rise and dunking on people, whatever else. But you know what I mean? Like, in football, though, you're in basketball, you're tearing up your limbs, your arms, your legs. That's where you're putting it out at. When your legs, you put a tremendous amount of pressure on your legs. Period. In basketball, it is what it is. All that up and down, jumping, dunking, whatever, running and jumping. It's a lot. Football, though, those injuries can be life threatening in the blink of an eye, and the play that you possibly wasn't even in on because you was just standing around, and they don't get fully guaranteed contracts. So I'm just saying, like, next time another athlete wants to act out like Jimmy Butler with the 50 mil, think about the other guys that don't get that. You know what I'm saying? But I know it's a me thing out there. You in a world full of sharks, and I understand everything that he got to go through on that end. But I'm just saying, 50 mil in 1 year to play a sport that we go to the park and play, and we got to find time to put in our busy schedule of living life, of everyday life to do for fun. He's getting 50 mil for. And granted, he's one of the best in the world to do it. But I think sometimes you just gotta, you know what I'm saying, have some humility with that. Go back into thinking about the real things in life, man. Like those type of situations. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I gotta say about that topic. Hope that y'all enjoyed it. What do y'all gotta say? Light me up in the comments. Let me know. Peace.